and welcome to Act Now Live. I'm Dr. Natalie Phillips.
Hey everyone, happy Sunday. I'm Regina Corona.
Hey, so we were just talking before we got on the show. I thought it was kind of funny, but it is 39 degrees here in Colorado. And Reg is like, you're cold there? It is like, did you say it's like 80s in California?
87 here.
It is so cold here. So we are at opposite sides of the weather here, but it's so much fun to be here with technology, to be here together to talk to you all every Sunday. So thanks so much for joining. I'm going to put up something real quick here, just our YouTube channel, so that you don't forget to go ahead and follow us on YouTube. Turn on your notifications, because then you'll be able to tell when we have a new episode. We come here every Sunday at 3 o'clock p.m. Pacific Standard Time, as well as 4 o'clock p.m. Mountain Standard Time. And so we want to make sure that if you miss anything, that you will be able to catch all of our episodes. All right. So with that, Reg, let's talk a little bit more about some things coming up this week. And I can make some links that we're going to talk about. So what's coming up on Wednesday?
Our Action Takers Network event is coming up on Wednesday. This is the opportunity for all of you action takers to join us on a live Zoom call. And this is our second one, and I'm super excited. I'm excited about them all, but I'm really excited about this one, because we are going to not just bring everyone together to network, but now we're going to start digging in and doing some work around taking action. And we're starting with your why. Why do you want to do what you want to do?
Yes, I am so excited for that too. We did post the link to register if you still want to join us this Wednesday, October 21st. And it is an Eventbrite link. So you'll have to go and register so that we can send you the online link to join us that Wednesday. And we are also sending a worksheet, because we have some work to do in our call on Wednesday. I wanted to just say hello real quick to Mary Campos. Good to see you.
Hi, Mary.
Joining us today. I think she's been on our Action Takers Network call, and I think she might be signed up for this one too. So super excited, Mary. I can't wait to see you again on Wednesday.
Yeah. Cool.
All right. So we are going to dive into just talking about the importance of why, like knowing your why. And I know that there's always, topics surrounding this, but let's talk about why it is so important to understand your why.
Yeah, so we were talking about this a little bit before the show started. It's so important to understand your why, because when you don't know why you're doing something, then the chances of you continuing to do it, especially when things get difficult, are much less. So a lot of times we commit to do something, or we say we're going to commit to do something, like those New Year's resolutions, right? And then we find ourselves waning off. We slowly stop doing whatever it is we were doing. And this idea of understanding why you're doing something becomes so important in keeping you in the game. And we were talking about how, as kids, you think about your kids and they're constantly asking, why? And, Natalie brought this up, and it was so funny because it's true. Your kids, when they're little, they'll ask, well, why? Why, mommy? And then you give an answer. And what's the next thing that they say, Natalie?
But why? And you're hoping that they're just are satisfied with that answer.
And they're not. And so they keep, but why? And for adults, it gets a little annoying, right? So the first thing that we do is tell them, stop asking why. Just accept the answer that I gave and don't ask why anymore. Mm-hmm. So it means that we are conditioning our children, usually because that's what's been modeled for us. We were conditioned to stop asking why. And when we stop asking why, we stop looking for the real reasons behind why we want to go after a dream, why we have these goals that are so important. And when we can't connect to the why, when we can't, Simon Sinek has a great book called Start with Why. And so there's this whole idea around why for business. Lead with your why. Why are you doing the business that you're doing? And so why is really an important question. And for all of you who are parents out there, I want to encourage you, parents of smaller children, I want to encourage you to develop that muscle of patience and stop telling your kids to stop asking why, because you want them to continue to ask why. You want them to grow up with that habit of asking why in the right way, though. So you want to guide them.
All right. So we always have takeaways. So we've talked about this, and I think that it's really, it's actually in our book, in our goal setting chapter, about knowing your why and understanding it, and how it first starts with you. You know, there's lots of times where, you know, you think about looking ahead and you think about your why, or even looking back and saying, why am I doing this? And then you start to set goals. And part of taking action is setting goals. We've talked about it many times. Yes. But what gets tricky, and that's why we wanted to put this up here, is that it's so important to set goals that that are for you and that you're setting, not because somebody else is telling you, you know, and you could have a coach, you could have a friend, you could have a family member that's saying, okay, yeah, I see where you're going. Maybe you should be doing this, you know, or whatever it is. So it's super important that when you're setting goals, that you're doing it for you, because you're the only one that knows your journey. You're the only one that knows your why. So it's only going to make sense if your goals are relevant to you. What
that is so important, that it has to be relevant to you. The other thing about why goals are so important. We're moving on to the second item. Mm-hmm. Okay. The other reason is because if you are not locked into your why, when things get difficult, and we all know that they get difficult, you know, things happen in life, they derail us, they pull us off of the path of what we were going after, whatever it is, that serves as an obstacle. When that happens, if you're not connected into your why, guess what? You will abandon your dream. You will abandon the goals that's supporting the dream. It becomes easy and convenient to just kind of go back to what you were doing or not doing, and just saying, oh, that goal is, or that dream isn't for me. It's too much. Who am I, who am I to do that? Why did I even think I could do that? And so you give up. The number one reason why people tend to give up is not because the journey is hard. The journey is going to be hard. Anything worth having is hard, right? You think back over your life, having kids as moms, having kids was hard. Raising kids has been hard. Everything that's worth having is hard. There's work that you have to put into it. But you don't give up on raising your kids, right? Most of us don't. It happens occasionally. People walk away from things that are important. But again, if we don't understand that deep why are we connected to this? Why is it so important? Why is it so important for us to, why was it so important for us to write this book? It wasn't easy doing this. Natalie and I, for 18 months straight, about 18 months straight, we literally met every single Friday or most Fridays. And we walked through this, and it meant making commitments to each other and getting our families buy-in and, locking ourselves off at times. And I'm sure there were times, Natalie, that, I don't know, you can chime in, that maybe you felt like, man, is this really worth it? I'd rather be out doing something else. Or, when you hit that frustration point, because there were times where we had some frustrations, I think. And maybe we didn't say, okay, we're going to quit, but definitely we had to keep encouraging one another, right? So, but we knew that the greater reason why we were writing this book wasn't just to write a book and release a book and be authors. That was important to us. But it was important for us to get this message out that, look, if you have a dream and you have goals that support that dream and they're big and you've gotten stalled along the way, it's okay. But you can pick up where you left off and you can move forward and you can reach those goals and you can reach those dreams or that big dream. And we wanted to inspire a movement.
Mm-hmm.
That's what our why was. That's why we stayed connected in. So the big question is, for all of you that are watching now or that will watch on the replay, what is your why to keep you connected to that dream and the goals that you have? What is it? Because that's the thing that's going to keep you locked in when things get difficult.
Yeah. And I love that. And, I will chime in because there were times where, I kind of thought, oh my gosh, this is going to take forever. It's not doable. I never lost sight of the why. And I think it's because we talked about it so much and we knew that it was going to be bigger than what we were even thinking at the time while we were writing the book. Initially, as many of you might know, we wrote the book because we thought, oh my gosh, like, look at what we're doing together. Maybe we should write this down. But that's because Reg is a business strategist. So she writes things down to make sure that it can be done again, right? Yeah. That is, whatever process that you're going through, that you can document it. And so it helped for me to know that whatever I had to do by the next week, I needed to get it done because I had an accountability partner. And that's what this whole movement is about. It is about, everything to take action. But one of the biggest things was the accountability for me. Yep. I mean, I know that Reg has talked about it. She made a post this week just about her thoughts about the book and, how the accountability really helped. And we really feel like that's super important. So not only did we see the why, not only when things got difficult, understanding that kept us motivated, but I think we each, having each other also kept each other motivated, which is why we're not doing this alone. We're going to bring you along with us. And we want you to get connected to somebody else because we really strongly believe in that accountability. And I think that is what really made this happen and kept us on track for the why. So I agree.
I agree. I think, people are always like in business, you're always like, what is your unique ability? What is it that makes you stand out from your competition? Well, I can tell you hands down, when you are looking at Natalie and I and Act Now and the Action Takers Network and the membership that we're creating down the road and all of the things that we're bringing forth under this movement, what makes us unique is that we did walk through this ourselves and we saw the importance of accountability and not just accountability like you're in a group or a mastermind. That is important as well, but it's that one-on-one accountability, having that partner that you can trust your goals and your dreams with and that you can talk about. And I believe that while many people talk about the things that we're talking about and doing, taking action and going out and doing, one of the things that makes us a little more unique is that we are building a movement based around a network of people that can come in and connect with one another and really commit. You find a partner and you commit and say, look, we're going to walk this out and we're going to commit to a full year. We'll give it a year and we're going to help each other reach our goals and dreams. And I guarantee that if you do that, you're going to get further than you ever imagined that you would.
Yeah. And I'm so excited because we are really starting to ramp up a little bit of these tools and resources that we've had that we're going to pass on to you. And so in these Action Taker Network, community, these online areas where you guys can connect to each other, we want to start giving you some content so that way when you commit to the year can start anytime. It doesn't have to start in January, but we're going to give you some tools to get started in January and to give some environments to get you started with somebody else maybe in January. But honestly, like we've talked about this, and the year can start anytime you want to. It's just a commitment maybe for a year so that you can see over a year's time what has come out of a partnership, accountability, just being able to take action with somebody else. having you in mind and like having that person want success for you as well. So, in our next Action Takers Network call, like we talked about this Wednesday, the link is in the comments. The link is in our post. If you want to join us, it is free, but we are going to dive deeper because we feel like finding out the importance of your why, really digging deeper, is super important because that's where it all starts. And so I'm super excited because I think that it's really important. And I think that it's going to be very eye-opening, I think, for many people.
I'm excited about it. We have taken a tool from Dean Graziosi and the Knowledge Brokers content, and it's called the 7 Levels Deep. It's also in his Millionaire Success Habits book. And we decided that before, there are a lot of things that we know we're going to walk through with this network of people, and as people are joining in over time to help you accomplish your goals and your dreams. But it starts with the why, because if you don't have the why defined, then you don't have the foundation that you need to build upon. And that's what these networking or Action Takers networking, we call them events, but gatherings, are going to do each month. They're going to build upon one another. And so this one, we are starting with the why. And so, if you didn't join the last one was really about just getting together and kind of testing out this model that we are putting in place. But this month is where we are really going to start diving deep. We are going to do the 7 Levels Deep exercise, and I am so excited about that.
Yes. So Mary says, you mentioned a worksheet. Where or when do we get it? So if you go to that Eventbrite link and register for this online call that we're having this Wednesday, it's going to automatically be sent out to you closer to the call when you get the link to join as well. So that's definitely something that we're going to be using on Wednesday so that you can download it and have it ready to go so that we can work through it on Wednesday.
Yep.
Yeah.
I'm really excited about doing that. I went through the 7 Levels Deep. I think I mentioned that before. And so I'm going to have my content with me, and people who really know me well know that I am full disclosure and fully transparent. I'll share the good, the bad, and the ugly, because I think when you pull back and you're able to see what others have done, especially if you consider others to be successful or that they've reached some level of success in their life that you want to model, then to see what they did and what they came up with, I think is really important. And that was one of the things Dean Graziosi shared his, and it was really interesting. Yeah. So I'll also bring that one to share with everyone.
That's awesome. Well, that is our show for today, you guys. I'm so glad that you could join us. Thank you guys so much for watching live or catching the replay or on our YouTube as well, or on our Instagram. We're like everywhere. So we want to make sure that it's highly accessible to you guys. And if you have not yet signed up to join us on Wednesday, sign up in the link in the comments or also in the post. But we will be back next Sunday with an all new show of I was going to say All Things Odd.
your other show.
All right. Well, thank you guys so much. We'll see you soon.
Bye, everyone. Happy Sunday.